I'd like to call this meeting to order. As directed by Manitoba Health, we're requesting people avoid close contact within 2 meters with anyone showing symptoms of a respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. If you're experiencing flu-like symptoms, we are requesting that you excuse yourself from the room. I'd like to make the following statement. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Lynn Nesbitt and I'll be chairing the panel today. Other members of the panel are Brent McIntyre to my left and Tracy Anderson to his left. Our secretary today is Michelle Nepin and our assessor is Marina Tenuwar. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application and will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I'll confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. And we'll first begin by having the assessor and the applicant effort.
Marina Gantika Taylor. Do you affirm that the evidence about the hearing should be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Whoever's going to I'll affirm you first before you have a seat. Can you state your full name, please?
The name.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Welcome. Today we have just one item on the docket, and I'm going to ask when we get this construction going on again, speak up so we can hear everything, okay?
With terms of the things, a little, not up that's part of your analysis. Do I need to explain that?
Yes, yes.
Can you state your full name, please?
Oh, yeah.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Thank you.
Okay, so first, we're going to start by having the assessor present her evidence.
Okay.
And when she's done, you may ask questions of her, and then we'll ask questions if we have any, and then it will be your turn to present your evidence.
Okay.
When you're ready, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And can I ask you to speak up?
Yes, I do. File number 19-5132. Applicant Q&C Fresh Food Limited. Property address C3, 1225 St. Mary's Road, Business Assessment ID 6391. Business owner, Koya, Japan. This is the kiosk in the food court in Central Mall, and they have 403 square feet occupied in the food court, and we use $196.90 per square feet, and plus occupancy cost to calculate their annual rental value. Our total annual rental value is $80,340. Their lease information in my docket. In my briefs. Their lease start in November 1st, 2016. It is a 4-year, 11-month lease. They are paying $175 per square feet. In my rent comparables are all in food court in Central Mall. All the leases signed in 2013, either November or October. These terms is 10-year leases are there and 5-year leases are there. If you see in picture, 10-year leases have a lower per square foot rate, which is 182 or 175. Shorter lease has a higher rental rate per square feet, which is $210. Their rental rate within that range. Our model driven rental rate is for this particular kiosk is $196,090 per square feet. We believe it is fall within the lower rent and the higher rent average. And so I am asking to confirm annual rental value as it is. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. And do you have any questions for the assessor? Based on what she presented?
Yeah, first of all, I apologize. I have a really hard time hearing some of the information that was read by the assessor.
If you'd like to have her repeat it, that's okay.
Well, I like to know about, she was differentiating the amount of rent on a 5-year lease and a 10-year lease. I like to have a recap of that, if it's okay.
You mean the rent comparable?
Yeah, because from what I'm understanding about lease at St. Vital Mall is that you sign a 10-year lease.
That might be evidence that you're going to bring. So you can ask her questions about what she said.
Yeah,
and
that's
feel free.
So what was the rate for the 5 years as opposed to the rate of a 10-year?
Okay, the owner, the Koya Japan is paying $175 per square feet for 5-year lease. In as my document, and my rent comparables are 5-year leases. The FC4 they are paying $210.08 per square.
Yeah, but I think that's a little unfair because the rate of the square foot at Civitan Mall is depending on when you sign your lease. It's not uniform for everybody that's in there.
That's true.
For you to make that comparison, it's a little unfair for us.
Because this is the period of time, we are bringing here the market rent comparables, but to show the information in the Central Mall. But I'm not telling your rental rate should be $200.10, but your rental rate is $196 within the range. That's why I'm asking to confirm that range.
Again, I'm going to reiterate my thing is, as far as I understand, with the rate of the square feet that you're paying at the mall depends on the time when you sign your lease. So it varies from each unit. Not everybody in St. Vital Mall kiosk pays the same amount of rent. Different locations pay different amount of rent depending on when they sign their lease. So for you to take what we pay and then compare it to another unit that has signed a lease at a different time, it's not really justified.
But this is a comparable only because it's within this range.
But if it's compared that's unjust to us, then it's unfair, right?
We understand your point, but that's the way we use to you, we show, I'm not telling you the exact number, we show that the range, Central Mall, all the kiosks pay different range based on what the date they signed. That's true. That's the correct information. That's what in my briefs. But we are bringing here to show it is the marker rent evidence. That's all.
Do you have any further questions for the assessor?
No, I wasn't sure if the first one was answered. I'm still unclear. Like,
okay.
If you can assess amount on a thing and then you use a different amount to compare it to, it just doesn't make sense to me as a person. Because I know everybody in St. Michael, there's like 15 kiosks in there. And we've been there for the last 35 years. The rent goes up and down depending on when you sign, right? And where you are in the mall, because different locations have pay different amount. How close you are to the bathroom, how close you are to the storage room, how close you are to the garbage compactor room, things like that, you know. And she's right, over time, the market does fluctuate. Sometimes when you sign, they want more money. And sometimes with business law, when you sign, they ask you for less rent. So I'm just having a little difficulty when the assessor is using what we're paying and compare it to another kiosk in the same vicinity, which is not operating under the same thing.
Perhaps we'll ask, do you have a response to that at this point?
Because it's a statement, he's telling true,
okay.
But it's the way the presentation, because we always bring the rent comparable. Okay. That doesn't mean this is the 100% exact compared to this one. It has the plus and minus. That's why it's the rates are different. Okay. Yeah.
So perhaps we can, we'll go to the panel's questions, and then you can give us more information on your position. Okay. Ms. Anderson.
I have no question.
Well, I have a question. Okay, so we have a subject lease of $175.
That's right.
Which falls in your rent comparable similar to a 10-year lease.
Yes.
Closer to a 10-year lease than it does to a 5-year lease. Mm-hmm. Although I see it starts in 2016 versus 2013, so it is a little bit different. Was that lease amount reported in INE? And it seems to be quite a difference in the base ARV that your model is providing. Can you explain why we shouldn't be looking at the reported rent?
Because we are not looking at the reported rent, because annual rental value we calculated based on market rent evidence. If we compare this particular location, St. Vital Mall, we have 5-year leases, we have 10-year leases,
right? And
our market model fall within the middle type, because the 5-year leases has a higher rent, 10-year leases has a lower rent.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I'm asking, and then you can speak when
So we don't go with the actual contract rent. We go with the model-driven market rent.
And I appreciate you're looking to your model.
Yes, we look into the model.
I guess I'm wondering, is your model overestimating this particular property when it's got a reported rent? Like, why shouldn't we be looking at the reported rent, I guess is my question.
Because our definition of annual rental value we have to follow the market rents, because sometimes the contract rents are higher for many reasons. Sometimes contract rents are low, very low for many reasons. So if we just jump into the contract rents, it's unfair to the other people and these ones. Then we basically, these kind of properties, we stick with the market model-driven rental rates, which is kind of in the range. It's not out of whack from what they are paying. It is more within the range. That's why I'm asking to confirm the market rates.
Thank you very much. Okay, you go ahead now.
So I just want to clarify something, and I apologize if I interrupt you. The assessor was mentioning the rate between a 5-year lease and a 10-year lease. As far as I understand, all the tenants in the food court, you have to sign a 10-year lease. This is how it breaks down. You sign a 10-year lease, and at the end of the 5 years, they give you the option of renewal. You cannot go into St. Patel Mall and sign a 5-year lease for the food court kiosk. It has to be a 10-year lease. And that's as far as I understand it for the last, since I've been doing this business. It's a 10-year lease with a 5 years option to renew halfway through the lease. And that goes right across Canada. I don't know if the retail is leased the same way or other kiosks is leased the same way, but I can speak from personal experience that all the food court kiosks throughout Manitoba are signed at a 10-year period. And then after the 5 years, the mall is going to review your performance. They offer you a re-sign, and then you can have the option to re-sign or not sign. But start off, it's a 10-year lease. So that's what I understand. There's no 5-year lease at St. Patel Mall, not for the food court anyways. And you can, if I'm wrong, then you can help me verify it.
I cannot verify that information because we only have the information provided by the owner as a rental information. We never seen the full lease information for any of the tenants.
So
you might write. I'm not telling you what telling incorrect information. You might write for your location.
No.
But I really don't know. I cannot confirm that one.
No, but I just want to clarify that you were comparing the rate of lease for 5 years as opposed to the rate of lease for 10 years. And I'm just advising you that there's no such thing. It's always 10 years for the food court. There's never a 5 years lease. You cannot go in there and say to the mall, I want a 5 years lease. I want a kiosk in the food court. They would not accept that term.
I don't have any comment about that. We don't know about those information.
Is there any other information you'd like to share with the panel?
I can only tell you what I know,
Yes.
Your Honor. And just so far from listening to assessor, I just want to help. It's all I want to do. Because we have done business for over 40 years now. I do travel across Canada to do business. So on the lease thing, I'm pretty sure what I'm saying. I help my franchisors develop stores right across Canada. You go to BC, Vancouver, right across the East Coast of Newfoundland. Every mall wants you to sign a 10-year lease. They will not let. I don't know why that is. There may be a situation for that, but that just seems the way that they set things up. I can't speak for the retail, but I can speak for the food court attendants.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have any questions of the applicant?
The applicant has a presentation.
He's making it.
And you are making another information. You want to present another information? I can wait.
Pardon me, I can't.
If he is making presentation, I can wait for us later.
I think that was his presentation.
That is?
Okay, you're complete with your presentation now?
It was a clarification more than a presentation. Because she was mentioning rates for 5 years and 10 years, and they were different. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay. So do you have a formal presentation that you'd like to make?
I honestly, he asked me to come because his English is not all that good.
That's fine.
I don't even know why I'm here. I just thought it was a simple handing in application and walking out. I didn't know it was this all, but whatever I can do to help, I'm more than happy to do so. I'm not here to fight with anybody. So I just thought some of the facts that the assessor came up with was a little bit misunderstood, if you will. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay.
And if that helps in the assessing situation, that's great. And I'll tell you why the food court always pays more, because we wait the more for the plumbing, right? So they charge us a lot more than if you were to sell clothing store, because then you're not damaging the mall. So the lease is a little different with us. I think that's why they want a 10-year lease. Make sure that we can. And a lot of times they don't sign with us; they sign with the head, right? Which is like McDonald's, Burger King. And then we come in as owner operator, and we're considered sub.
Okay.
And for that reason, I'm just stressing the point of 10 years. That's why they don't let any Tom, Dick, and Harry just walk in They want to make sure that you are a reputable company before they let you in. But they don't want to see you go out of business within a year.
Okay, do you have anything further to add that you'd like us to know?
Not unless you want to buy a Korea Japan. I don't know anything else to tell you. Like, if you want to buy a franchise, then yeah, it's a lot of money.
I'm sorry, but I talked to him a little bit.
Okay, so he was asking me which way you're going to decide. So I'm going to tell him that whatever your decision is, it's going to be in the mail. We're not going to find out today.
That's correct.
That's what you said earlier, right?
Correct.
Yeah, like anh nói xong hai bên nói xong rồi cuối cùng nó quyết định nó sẽ nói theo là vậy chứ nó không có nói theo nghe ở đây. You understand? Yeah, we're done now.
Okay. Senora, do you have any questions?
I have very few questions. I talked to Mr. Hong yesterday. Over the phone, I requested kindly to come here and present his case.
Okay.
We talk over the phone about this property. Then once your presentation, I want to ask, are you the subtenant? Are you the tenant there? Who is the main tenant?
We call it the head lease and the sublease.
Okay, the Korea Japan.
Korea Japan is owned by NPY Corporation in Montreal.
Okay.
And under NPY, they have 1 million banners. They sell everything from East Indian food to you name it. French fries, ice creams, poutine. So they run a lot of different banners. But they're the head lease.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're the sublease.
Okay, then you lease from not direct from Senegal Mall, you direct from there.
They head lease negotiates the lease with Senegal Mall, but we're liable for all the expenses. We're paying it.
Okay, then it's kind of you don't negotiate directly with Senegal Mall, then MTV Corporation
Negotiate
with
lease.
Senegal Mall, and then you took over the lease, whatever they negotiated from them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how it's operating. Okay, I understand. Okay, and as per information in the second page, your base rent is 5,800.
I don't know what you're looking at there. I don't have the information. If you can let me have a look.
Okay, that's the information I have. You send it to the board? You send it to board, right? This is your...
Yeah.
I know, but I don't know what he sent you. You're asking me about that thing, and I haven't seen it.
You ask me
I
before.
think it's okay. if
Yeah,
you
I can
let him see.
Sure, you can read it.
No, let me read it out. So what exactly do you want to know from this thing?
The second page,
Yeah, I'm on it.
that's the base rent amount. That's
Okay.
the monthly rent amount you pay.
Yes,
And all the bottom lines are hydro, water, and
Yep.
all the other
we have to pay all those. Yep.
Yeah, and you all together you pay 8,000, whatever
Correct.
the amount here
Yeah.
for a month.
Right.
Time to us.
Sorry?
Time to us. Because
Times 12. Yes, yes. Sorry,
that's
I
what
didn't.
you pay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's my question.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all my question.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Madam
Mr.
Chair.
McIntyre, do you have any questions?
Just one question. Do you have the assessor's brief that she was talking about?
I'm sorry, sir.
Do you have that piece of paper?
No, I just came with him today when he asked me
You
to come.
don't have one?
No, anh có cái giấy đó trong một bao thơ của anh mà. No, I think he does have it. But I haven't seen it.
Okay. Tấm giấy này tôi thở rồi thôi. This one only I have.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
No, so you have it.
Sorry, I was
Just,
using it.
just, just
No. Here. We have
yeah,
it.
yeah, I know. Just
Sorry, I was using it to footnote. Okay, I have it here, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my question is, your unit FC3,
Correct.
and then the comparisons the assessor has is FC2, FC4, so I assume you're in between those two tenants?
I'm sorry, sir. Are you assuming?
Well, the first two comparisons on her brief is
At the bottom.
at the bottom
And it's line P.
Okay.
is FC2 and FC4.
Okay.
I assume that you're in the middle between those two?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And the other question I had, back to submission. So I'm looking at the correspondence from Kirkfield, Cushman Wakefield. It says minimum rent. Is there a percentage sales added on to the minimum rent?
Yes, but it's never been, nobody had ever surpassed that. You're right. If your sales hit a certain amount, then your rent would increase. But as far as I know, nobody has ever hit that target. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was all my questions.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you.
I was hoping you want to buy a franchise. At some point again.
I have a question. What is a promotion fund?
That's taken care. It's called a promotion fund. It's almost like we pay that as part of our royalty to the head office, and they in turn supposed to help us, run coupons and promote the stores. But between me and you, they really don't do much to tell you the truth. Have you seen any coupons in your mail for Korea, Japan?
I love Korea, Japan.
But that's what the promotion
I see.
is. It's part of your royalty fee that you have to pay based on your sales.
Okay. And premise tax would that be your share of realty taxes or business tax?
Correct, for the whole.
Okay. I just have a question redirected to you then, Ms. Tanawara. Would promotion funds normally be included in a net rent?
No, because I only here consider the minimum rent.
Just the minimum rent?
Minimum rent times 12 divided by 403 square feet is $175 per square feet, which is in here in my briefs.
Okay.
That's the exact same number.
Okay.
That's a different way of presenting.
Okay, good. I haven't done that.
No.
So thank you.
No, we don't consider any of those ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't consider the 846 as a net rent or contract rent.
Okay.
No.
I just didn't know what was involved in your.
No.
When you were asking about the 8,000 times 12, I was.
No, I just want to know
meant.
about what actually they are paying.
Okay.
That's why I asked. I talked to him actually beforehand to settle this case.
Okay.
I have very better understanding about this one.
Okay.
But unfortunately, because it's in the market level of rental rate, we cannot make any recommendation.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, then I have no further questions unless anybody wants to add anything else.
Yeah, anybody want to buy a franchise?
We love to.
Okay, then that
he might have a question.
Okay.
Anh không phải là nhiều ít đó. Bây giờ anh khiếu nại nó điều kiện nó sẽ viết cái giấy cho anh hỏi thì okay, no, we're all good.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for all your time, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. And
And
we'll
be
have our
safe.
decision soon by mail.
Okay.
Thank
In the meantime, you guys want to open up a franchise?
Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you for coming.
It's funny, guys.
I'll run it for you.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great day, guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
I'll now have your hat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank you.
nice evening, afternoon.